Hey guys, today I am finally going to do something that I have wanted to do for a very long time, and I'm going to go ahead and film a makeup tutorial for you guys. I have wanted to do one of these ever since I watched, I think the first YouTube tutorial I've ever watched is mustluvfawns, and it's Judy time. So I am so excited. I'm going to go ahead and do this look that I am currently wearing. So if you want to find out how to do this, just keep watching. So I always like to start off, usually, not always, but usually with doing my eye makeup first. And that's because you always tend to get some fallout under your eye, no matter how careful you are with your eyeshadow. So in order to prevent the concealer looking dirty, which it can if you get all that fallout mixed together with the concealer that you have previously done, I think it just makes your life so much easier if you just do your eye makeup first. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my concealer. This is the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. And I'm going to go ahead and just put this all over my lid. And then just use my finger to blend it in. And what this does, because I have quite dark eyelids, is it helps with neutralizing the area and taking away any of the brown and purple undertones that I have going on there. And it also helps with making the eyeshadows stick and making the eyeshadows more vibrant. So for my eyeshadow palette today, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Jane Iredale Naturally Matte eyeshadow palette. As you can see, I've used this a ton. So my two favorite shades are Eggplant and Fudge, which are these two colors. And then for my highlight, I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. So I like to use a nice big fluffy brush like this because I feel like it picks up the perfect amount of eyeshadow, and you can really do a super simple smoky eye with that. So I'm picking up that Eggplant shade, and I'm just first gonna tap it all over my lid like so, and then I look kind of straight ahead so that I can get right into that socket line, and I just go back and forth in a windshield wiper kind of motion like this, so that it really softens out any of the edges. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that same color just to intensify, make it a little bit darker. And with the same brush, just gonna look up and put that a little bit underneath as well, like so. I absolutely love taupe types of shades because of my brown eyes. I feel like it just really warms up my eye color, and instead of them looking almost black, and people tease me about that all the time and say that my eyes are black, but they're not, and you can definitely see that they're not, and have a lot of actually kind of golden hues to them when I'm wearing eyeshadow colors like this. If ever you think that you have put on too much and it's too dark, you can always just clean off that brush and just go over it again, and then it will be nice and softer. So now I'm going to take an angled brush like this and pick up that buttercream highlight, and I'm just going to put that into the inner corner as well as under my brow bone. I love this shade because it has kind of a pearlescent kind of finish to it. It's not chunky glitter, it's more shimmery than glittery, which I love. There we go. So that's pretty much the eyeshadows done. And for my eyeliner, I'm going to use this black liner called Beauty for Real. It's a black liner that I got in my Ipsy bag recently, and I'm just going to use this to tightline my waterline. Reason why I always tightline is because I feel like it helps to fill in any gaps between my lashes even before I put mascara on, so that it creates the illusion of a fuller lash line. So I just do it between blinking, and super easy to do once you've had some practice at it. At first, it might be easier for you, if this is your first time doing tight lining, to hold your lid up like this and then go ahead and do it, because see, this prevents you from blinking, so that it gives you a little bit more stability. So I'm just gonna do it to the other side too. There we go. Okay, and then for my actual eyeliner, I am going to go ahead and use the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Paints liquid liner. And I love this liner because it's a felt tip. I can't for the life of me do liquid liner with the actual brush dipped ones. I find these ones so much easier. See, you can do a thinner line, you can do a thick line, and you just have super easy control with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Most days I do a really thin sort of a line. Some days I thicken them up when I want a little bit more drama. And I usually do connect my liner all the way to the inner corner. There we go, like that. And this side is always the harder side for me to do, so let's see, how can I do this? Here, I'm gonna do it like that. And I always have to pull on my eye when I do this eye, because for some reason I just cannot stop it from blinking uncontrollably unless I do this. Let me know if any of you guys have one eye or both eyes to do that. This is also the eye that tends to be more sensitive and the eye that tends to water like crazy if I am trying to put on false eyelashes, which definitely makes your life not very easy. Okay. And if you mess up like I just did and make your liner a little bit too thick, before it dries, you have a few seconds to straighten it out a little bit by blending it. So it's never too late to fix your mistakes. All right, now I'm gonna go back into using this concealer. And product comes out through the little sponge tip applicator, and I just look up and just gently dab it all over under my eye. I do have very, very dark circles, and it doesn't actually seem to matter how much sleep I get, they're just always there. Some of my friends think that it might be because of my dairy allergies. I am lactose intolerant, so I don't know. Even though I am lactose intolerant, I have very difficult time saying no to cheese. and yogurt and ice cream. So pretty much everything dairy I have a hard time saying no to. So maybe one of these days I will have the willpower to not have dairy, and actually maybe my dark circles will disappear. So now I'm just using my ring finger. Your ring finger is very important because it is the gentlest finger, and I find it to be the most cushiony finger too. So if you need to blend, your ring finger is honestly the best tool. So I just keep looking up and dabbing until I am happy with the amount of coverage that I get, and I think that's pretty good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Glow Minerals Tinted Primer. This is the first tinted primer that I've ever used, and I absolutely love it because it goes on really silky and smooth, kind of like the Smashbox primer, and I just love the amount of coverage that you're able to get just by using this. So I just squeeze a little bit on every side of my face, like so. And then I am gonna go ahead and use the Expert Face Brush by Real Technique. And first I just kind of go all over and dab that in kind of messily. And as you can see, this is a bit darker than my skin tone because I did get this in summertime. But I am going to go over it with my foundation, which is my skin color. So the two of them blended together are going to make the perfect skin color for me. So, like I said, first I like to kind of go in with dabbing motions to spread out the product. And then you can start doing the more kind of circular kind of motions to blend everything in. I absolutely love this brush. I just got this actually a few months ago, and ever since I've gotten this brush, I haven't even used my beauty blender ever since. Don't get me wrong, I still love my beauty blender and I think it's an amazing tool, but I just feel like somehow this is faster. And I feel like I'm using less product since I have switched to this brush, because all the product stays on the bristles. They're not sinking into the brush, if that makes sense. I feel like you do lose a lot of product when you use sponges like beauty blenders because they do soak up the product in themselves. But I'm sure one of these days I will go back to the beauty blender, and then I'm gonna get stuck using that again for months or years before discovering another beauty tool I will be obsessed with. So now I'm gonna go in with my CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Squeeze a little dot on every side of my face. Come on. There it goes. See, you can see it's a lighter shade. This is light medium. In summertime, I am more medium, and in autumn/winter, I am definitely more light medium. It's interesting because I do have an olive skin tone, and people automatically always want to gravitate me towards the beige colors, but whenever I use those colors, they just look too orange on me. And I think the biggest reason why is because I have oily skin, and when you have oily skin, the color does tend to oxidize on you throughout the day and mix together with your natural skin oils. And when that happens, it makes your foundation shade that you are wearing darker. So even if it matches you perfectly at the beginning of the day when you have put it on, by the end of the day you might look like a hot, shiny, dark mess. So that definitely happens to me. So For the most part, it's always better for me to go with a lighter shade, at least 1 or 2 skin shades lighter than what I actually am, so that it ends up being the perfect shade throughout the day. So I just keep blending, blending, blending until I am happy with the way it looks. So I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna set all of this, since all I've used so far is just cream-based products. I am having difficulty speaking today, or every day, let's be honest. I'm gonna use my Eco Tools powder brush, and dab that all over. And the product I'm using to set is the Ben Eye translucent powder. It comes in a little salt and pepper shaker, kind of an idea like that. There we go. And I like to put this everywhere, but especially in the T-zone, because that is where I do tend to get shiny throughout the day. All right. There we go. Now for my blush, I am going to use the one that I got in my Ipsy bag last month. I absolutely have been loving this blush. It's the Satin Coral by Essence. And I'm gonna pick it up with my Dome brush from Jane Iredale. And of course, just find the apple of your cheek and just dab that on. And you will notice, I know I did my eye makeup first, but there is a couple of things like my mascara and my eyebrows that I do at the very, very end of me doing my makeup. And the reason why is because when I used to do it before the setting powder and all that, the setting powder used to settle into my eyebrows, and then it's pretty much like impossible to get that residue out of your eyebrows, and you end up just looking like you have flaky eyebrows throughout the day. So not a good look. So now that I have done all of my powder products, I am going to go ahead and brush my eyebrows with my little spoolie. Like so. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use my favorite brush that I have had, honestly, I think ever since like high school, and it's falling apart, but it is my favorite eyebrow brush. It's actually taped together to hold it together. But it's by Expression. And I remember when I first started getting into makeup in high school, my mom got me some makeup and a little brush set, and this brush was a part of that set. And I was ever so excited. So the product that I am using to do my eyebrows with is this pomade, dark brown pomade by Ardell. And it actually came with this brush that has the spoolie end. And I do like this angle brush that the spoolie comes with, but it's very thin, and because I have thicker eyebrows, I don't want to add too much detail into them, because if I add too much detail, then they really start to go like crazy, like full-on Audrey Hepburn eyebrows. So what I like to do with this brush is just very, very gently and lightly feather in a little bit of detail. And you'll notice I'm holding my brush near the end rather than holding it like a pen. When you hold your brush like this, it actually adds a lot more pressure to what you're doing, so you end up doing it too strongly, and when you do it too strong, it adds too much color. So I always like to usually hold my brush at the very end, and then you can really add very light feathery strokes. So you just want to feather in little additional eyebrow hairs essentially where you've got gaps. And most of my gaps are here and then at the very end. Because you better believe that I was one of those teenagers who overplucked her eyebrows when I was in high school. Should have listened to my mom. Especially this eyebrow on the ends is very patchy. It just never grew back the way that it was, unfortunately. So kids, listen to your mom. If she tells you don't touch your eyebrows, then don't touch your eyebrows, because she knows what she's talking about. There. All right. So to finish off the look, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Tarte Lights Camera 4-in-1 mascara. Absolutely love this mascara. It's a sample size because I got this in my Ipsy bag. I think it's September. And I've been loving it. You can see this is what the brush looks like. It's very nice for volumizing. I already have a lot of length and a lot of curl to my lashes, so it's really mostly just volumizing that I need. So I like to do kind of the back and forth motion, jiggling it kind of from side to side, and you kind of almost want to blink a little bit, but blink gently because I have, of course, blinked and then blinked the wand into my eyes, ouch, and then down underneath as well, and that is not a fun thing to have to clean up. So this is pretty much the way that I have been doing my makeup, like every single day. There's a little hair that just won't get out of my face. There we go. Nope, it's still there. There. And I've absolutely been loving this look. I feel like it goes with everything. It's nice and natural and honestly really fast to do. Usually it takes me no longer than 10 minutes max to do this on a daily basis. Gonna do a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes too, because why not? And to finish off, I'm just going to use this Aero Boost lip balm. I love this lip balm because it gives you just a hint of a color after you've put it on, and it's a different color on everybody. It reacts to, I guess, the pH of your body and creates the perfect shade for you. So I feel like on me it goes kind of a peachy kind of a shade, which I really like. I'm definitely more into the peaches and the neutrals than the pinks. This is the finished look. I absolutely love this makeup. I think it's so easy and so simple, and I love simple makeup. Natural simple makeup honestly is my favorite. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave all the links in the description box for you guys, so definitely check those out. And don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I upload videos every Monday and Wednesday, so stay tuned for my next one, and I will see you guys later. Bye!